I think 7 is our normal speed.
Yeah.
Coming back with no missions of note. Actually, the Imjin and the Kismet were the first Federation ships in this area. In this,
But other than the Kismet or the Imjin, no one else has been out here recently?
no missions of note.
Is there a way we can check any Klingon missions or Romulan missions in the area?
Yeah,
Not to say they'd be broadcasted,
sightings?
but you never know.
Are there any known sightings of Romulans
I can check.
or Ferengi for that matter?
Prophet.
Okay, so all right, let me give you some of that info.
While we're waiting for that, an alumni of Star Trek Rathacon, stuntwoman Anne Chatterton died.
Oh.
And then Spice Williams Crosby, sound effects editor Douglas Grindstaff died at the age of 87. So that happened to be in Memory Alpha right now. Is in the latest news.
Commander, I can't access any of the Romulan records, and the Klingons haven't kept any records of any of the scientific missions in the areas. No sightings of any Ferengi that we can see from this listening post. So, yeah, this is a big space and nothing, as far as we know.
So, okay. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Commander Prax, what are your feelings about this?
Yeah, and from an engineering standpoint, it could be that just the long-range probes have either had an issue. You know, I mean, technology as it is could have somehow had a reason to fail, or something affected it. So we, might be want to look out for anything that could affect signals, and be aware of that as we fly in. Could affect us too.
I'm gonna order this senior staff to the bridge for when we arrive, because we have no record of any Starfleet vessels other than the Kismet or the Imjin being out here in the last 6 months. And although we have no sightings of Romulans, Klingons, or Ferengi, they have been known to play with distress signals when they want us to come. So
Yeah.
we will be very alert while going in.
Yeah, just as far as the probes themselves, the general standpoint, even without thinking of any tactical, could be just something wrong with the probe itself. So yeah, absolutely. But on the other side, if we are going into a trap, that would be good to know.
Agreed.
So, out of character. So about our ship, one of its strengths is the long-range sensors. How far out can we use those to our advantage?
To use the advanced sensors, you probably have to be within, I would say probably extreme range of whatever you're trying to scan to get accurate information.
Now, are we still a few hours away, or are we having that moment where we're looking at the captain? Should we go quicker to possibly get there sooner, or is that important? Because I'm not sure if this is a time thing yet.
Well, so think about what you guys are actually doing in the mission. You guys are responding to a distress call.
Well, then
So
yes, time matters. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, so we might want to. So that's probably where I might say, hey, Captain, we might, if it's a distress signal that's ended, and it's not the probe itself or the signal itself, then yeah, we might want to get there faster. Somebody could be in trouble.
Drop out at extreme range and scout.
Agreed.
Then let's adjourn everybody to their post, and then I'm gonna start heading to the bridge.
Yeah, I actually really agree with that last statement because I don't want anything messing with my ship. extreme range.
And as soon as I arrive on the bridge, I'm gonna say, Commander, take us to a maximum safe warp and bring us out just outside of the area of the distress call that we scanned, and set up a search pattern.
I walk onto the bridge. I wait for everyone to get to their post, unless someone wants to say anything.
Yeah, maybe take my post at the bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the bridge because right now there's no reason to go down to engineering. This is too interesting.
And Regov gets on the bridge and puts out a cigar.
Ensign Michelson, make your heading 314, bearing 216, warp factor 9. Drop us just outside or in extreme range of the.
Aye, sir.
Techno-
Course 314, Mark 256, warp 9.
Out of character, is this really smoking on the bridge, or is it like a hologram cigar?
I'm gonna veto.
He's really smoking.
Just so how I know how to continue forward.
Yep.
Because every time one's lit, I'll have whatever nearest fire apparatus thing go off near them. Just,
I'm gonna issue a
programmed
standing
in.
order for no burning on the ship.
No burning.
Fires.
That covers them all.
No
That's
fire.
good. I like that. No burning at all.
That's fine. Maddox just starts doing coke off the ops board. Kidding.
No repeat of Apollo.
Wow. So we're going to be the drug ship. That's great.
Yep.
Stop by the next ship. Want some?
Gotta make our money somehow.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Everything-
And is there? No, I guess not. Because if this drug signal is just not coming forward, that wouldn't. Well, I guess what is it that it totally stopped, or is there a way that I could search to maybe that the distress signal's power for some reason is not getting enough output and just is lower in amplitude, power, etc.
All the initial attempts to try to match the comms shows that it did stop transmitting.
Just stopped. Okay, good.
Let me know when we're in range and we can start the long range scans.
Yep. Yeah, if everybody's in their post, we could go ahead and fast forward a bit. I was debating if I wanted to maybe try to stream since Commander said he was having trouble, but
I have
that's
to
gonna
reset.
yeah, it's gonna be a minute because I'd have to make sure my key is set up and everything.
I'm
Excuse me.
local recording right now through OBS, but right now
Yeah.
I can't stream because I had a crash early and I reset my network driver, so it's not properly outputting the.
Yeah. No, because I would have to get on my OBS, just find the key. It'll take too long.
If you want, Commander, I can give you a username and password, and you can upload it to a YouTube that I have, and
I already
it's
have
literally got
I have a
nothing.
YouTube account. I have a YouTube account set up already, so that's no worry.
Yeah, if you're
Okay.
recording it, then that'll be great. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and jump to where you guys drop out of warp. So the Imjin arrives on the station of where you guys received the distress call, and as you drop out of warp, you discover several Federation escape pods that, from your estimates, have not been used since the 2340s.
Oh. I say the obvious. Should we search for life signs just in case?
Make it so, Lieutenant.
Okay,
All right,
scanning for life on those.
So
pods.
this will be reason and science, or reason and security, difficulty 1, which with your sensors would bring it to difficulty 0.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to roll for this.
you
You want to try to get the momentum.
Oh, okay.
It's still technically a difficulty 1 task, but with your
Okay.
advanced sensors. Cool. So you guys bank 3 momentum.
Okay, got to remember to put that on my character sheet while you guys say it so that I'm not sitting here lost. Because I'll be like, how much momentum? Okay, 3. Good deal.
Oh, I guess I could do that. Go away. There we go. Boom.
Okay, we're receiving the results. All right, sir. It looks like we've got the remains of various species. We've got humans, Vulcans, but these things haven't been powered for a few decades. There's nothing alive there. Only the remains.
Are we saying that there's possibly a distress signal that, as I point to the life pods that are like, how many century or years are you saying that these things are old now technically?
At least a few decades.
Yeah. And makes me wonder if that distress signal was their original signal. And then
It's
why are we
a-
just getting it now?
It's from the probe we sent out. These pods have been here long.
Oh, okay, never mind. Got that. Sorry.
So to kind of clarify, the probes picked up a distress call. The probes did not send it; they picked one up.
Oh, then I was right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
See, I know what I'm saying.
So like always, you guys can feel free to try to ask questions about the stuff. If not, you guys can keep role playing.
Well, it looks like we have a case here of an old ship that was lost.
We
Kerr,
should
why
spend a
don't-
momentum. We should spend a momentum because the escape pods might be able to tell us what ship those pods came from.
Exactly, and then maybe get the chance to scan for that ship.
I was about to bring them on board for that exact reason, or not for that reason, but to study them in general.
Well, I would scan them first, but never know if they're booby trapped.
So we're
Okay,
gonna scan them
I'll-
again.
Yeah, I'm going to scan for traps. And for security.
Yeah.
Are you using your thieves' tools? I mean,
yeah.
that's awesome. I'm sorry. This is good.
Awesome.
I just take out an old wooden key and I just start jamming it at the ops table. But yeah, I'm actually going to
Elk car's key. There you
I'm
go.
going to scan for active security measures.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me reason security. Difficulty 0 is fine.
Ship.
And a ship will probably be sensor security.
Are we still at 3 momentum, or did we spend
We're
one?
at full momentum.
Well, you are at 6 momentum currently from
Now.
that roll. You do not find any power sources of any kind.
Okay, everything is powered on.
Right.
Then we could expand that, and maybe with my focus metallurgy is actually try to do a search for our type of Federation ship in the area from the metal and alloy standpoint.
I'm thinking we can have Kerr. We can bring him on board and have Kerr, and we can have Kerr and maybe someone else study the pods, and then we can have someone study records of ships that have been out here. Try to match the pods to a ship.
Excellent.
All right. Don't pods have like where the ship they're from and stuff like in there?
They'll be
Or-
written.
Well, I'm sure we'll discover it when we bring them on board.
Yeah, I think maybe just the information is all there, but if they're not being powered right now, there's just no way to get the data until we do it manually, maybe.
Yep, gotcha.
Mhm.
Commander, let's use the cargo transporters to bring those pods on board. Link up with medical and have them take possession of the bodies on board, and you do a thorough review of the pods. And Commander and Matic, or Kurt, take Regov with you, and Commander and Maddox, let's look into ships that have been around here 40 years ago. And
Yes, sir.
include, if you don't find anything, widen that search to known Starfleet vessels that were destroyed around the time these pods were in service and don't have an explained disappearance.
Before we open any of the pods, should we have medical just check to make sure there's nothing also wrong, like a contamination that was...
You can bring them into a force field, Commander, and clear them before you let the force fields down.
Ensign Michelson, bring us within transport.
How many pods are we talking about? Are we talking about like hundreds? Or like 60?
Like a dozen or so.
Oh, a smaller ship maybe. Okay.
Do we-
I mean,
Commander,
that doesn't mean anything. Just the hope that only 12 means a smaller ship. That's more what I meant.
do we have enough room for that?
Yeah, I mean, like your ship has probably 50 or so escape pods, so you're gonna have room for a dozen. You know, in like a cargo bay or something.
I would imagine
We'll
the cargo-
just jettison the fighter ship out really quick and give us some space.
It's not even built.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see your face on that one. So that was, yeah.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
No, sir.
Let's make
Yes,
it
sir.
so, Ensign.
Aye, sir, closing in within 15,000 meters.
Have we still, how far are we away from the original probe that caught the distress signal in the first place? Is it still far out, or has it passed the system and continued on, kind of thing?
Well, the probe's probably a few light years away from this current location.
Still on its way. Okay.
Yeah. It's still, the probe's still doing its mission, and while it's sitting there scanning, it's like, oh, look at this distress signal. You know, it fed that telemetry back to Narendra, and then they said, hey, Imjin, go look at that. See what's going on.
Okay, good. So nothing. My question was just to see if anything had happened with that pod too. So it looks like no. So we're safe there. Good.
I'm going to start the research, Captain Asta, looking at any Starfleet vessels that were in this area 40 years ago, and any that have been destroyed.
I'm
during
going
that
to a
time.
cargo bay. Who's going with me? Regov?
I think Regov should go with you, and then we can probably send the ensign with you too.
And if Khan comes out of one of those pods, I swear. Just saying. History.
Well,
Yeah,
It'll
you
be
can
Mac
take
and
you can
PI.
take the ensign and Regov with you, and me, the commander, and Maddox will look over the logs.
Absolutely. And so we'll go down to the cargo bay, and when we hear that all the pods have been transported on board, and all the transport is cleared of Saval, like crazy biohazards or anything that might be, since transporters do that for us, we will then start checking over the pods for any good ship data.
All right. So in response to the lieutenants, Starfleet has no records of any ships being lost in the Shackleton Expanse.
Really?
Can we check for a list of ships that were reported as lost in that time and that have unexplained loss?
Well, hold on. I'm trying to do.
Okay.
I gave him his data because a lot of stuff will be made clear once you look at the pods. So let's get there first.
Oh.
So the people that are looking at the pods, what are you doing?
First going to the pods themselves, kind of like from the outside view, just look to see if there's any extraordinary damage or something just to be aware of. But take our tricorder and manually tap into the system, give it a little power, and see what the data cells say. What do we got?
Right. So this is the information you got from just looking at the pods. The name written.
Excuse me for a second while I just laugh. Edward, okay, that's really good. Okay, just saying. Okay, so now back in character. These pods look like they belong to a ship called the USS Sarek.
Oh.
Yeah, you imagine why my pause there for a second as the player. I'm like, okay, yeah, but back into character. Yeah, it's USS Sarek. Says to be an ambassador-sized ship. And then I'll go to I'll read off the registry and stuff off my plaque that I just made the other day as the info that I give to everybody. Trying to get there. Where's that plaque? There
Yeah,
it is.
you probably wouldn't have that information. This is just looking at the pod. You know how it's written like the ship name on the side of the escape pods? That's essentially what you see.
I would just know that the registry NCC 26160, because that would be a part of the Sarek. Other than that, you're right. Nothing else. Anybody ever heard that ship before?
I'm gonna comm badge to Kerr. Kerr, have we found anything yet?
Yeah, it belongs to a ship called the USS Sarek, Ambassador Class NCC 21. And I read that again.
Okay,
26160.
Keep looking over the pods. We'll look into the Sarek.
I'm going to look at.
Maddox, pull me up what you can on the USS Sarek.
Hi, Captain.
And the next thing I look at the pod is when they were.
Captain, I found the record. The Sarek was MIA, believed to have gone missing en route to patrol the Klingon border somewhere just past Andor. It was assumed to be lost till now. There's no record of any survivors.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, the ship couldn't have gone far. Ensign Michelson, let's lay in a search pattern. And
Question. Can we use the trajectory of the pods to line up back to where they possibly were fired out from? Because they were all floating in a certain direction. Track that back.
Them floating in space for 30 years means they're probably moved in all different directions. Trying to track it like that would probably be next to impossible.
Okay.
You know, because
Yeah.
they're sitting, they're floating in space, and you know, an ion storm comes, maybe blows it off course.
Sure,
You
absolutely.
know,
Captain, laying in a standard search pattern.
Maddox, can you start scanning
Will do.
for anything that would look like an ambassador class ship or a piece of an ambassador class?
Exactly. Federation metal. Can't think of the word I want. But yeah,
Metallurgy.
thank you. I have that as a focus. I just can't ever get my finger on it.
Lieutenant, go ahead and roll me a reason and science difficulty 3.
Oh my.
And with your ship, this will be difficulty 2.
We do have 6 momentum. Please spend one.
Okay. That gives me an extra die, right?
Correct.
Oh, hey.
All right, you get it back, and it doesn't really matter what. Well, I guess still roll the ship because you might get bonus momentum.
Yeah, because right now it's equaled out, right? We're still at 5.
Well,
Because you said difficulty 3, that's 3.
No,
it's
technically
2. It's 2 because you're advanced sensor, so you get the momentum back, and then the ship does. So you got 1 floating that you would have to use.
Oh, what questions
before it
can
goes
we
away.
off of that?
So
When does it go away?
right after the task is finished.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your chance to use it to ask any type of extra questions.
Right. So you can use that momentum to ask questions. As an ops officer, you get 1 free question just because you get 1 bonus to ask a question. And then if you have studious, it technically becomes 2 because you spent the momentum to ask a question. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with that, but as the ops officer, you get a bonus momentum for the obtained information in addition to this extra 1 now.
Now that's after the information you give them now, though.
Correct.
For the roll. Okay, good.
Okay, so we're detecting unusual readings coming from 2 billion kilometers away, bearing 250, Mark 25. What is... Fuck, I have a question.
Right? It's like, I'm with you, yeah.
What is it? Can I detect what... can I get anything more specific? Can I detect if it's a ship or a foreign object some kind or of some other kind?
You are not reading a ship.
I'm not reading a ship. Okay.
That's the free one.
So that's a free one, and then you could use this extra momentum here.
You don't have to think of yourself. You can ask all of us for possible good questions.
Right.
It just
has to. The question just has to relate to the task you did.
Okay. Who has a question?
I got one.
Great.
Is there any type of drift pattern, like solar eddies or something that could have given the Sarek a trajectory that we could follow?
Cool. I asked that.
I think I'm gonna have to veto that because that's not really with this task.
Okay.
Because remember, he didn't scan a ship. Like it's not. He didn't detect a ship. He detected anomalous readings.
Can we ask if there's any solar bodies near the disturbance?
Are there any solar bodies near the...
I'll take that, and there is not.
There is not, Captain.
Okay, so that's all their questions on that task. Okay.
I mean, you could still use your momentum. This was just the
free stuff.
The quote-unquote free stuff.
And we definitely have 6, so if anybody think of anything else... Now, out of character, was that a sensor in just in the sense of a Federation or some type of metal that we're used to, or was it also maybe power output or anything to that effect, or just the metal?
What?
the original task roll. What was the focus? Not the focus on the character sheet, but what was the focus of the original question? Like, was it the metal? Was it a?
He was trying to scan the area to find some type of debris or something that might be a starship.
Yeah, we were
Okay,
scanning
so
for
something-
the Sarek,
So,
yeah.
so in doing that, he kind of scanned the entire area and he found this.
Okay, so that scan was for the most part like some type of Federation metal or alloy or something that gives us a Federation feel or blip or something to the effect, but it's not a ship.
There's no.
Is it a
ships in
colony?
general.
Is there a colony or
Like you're overthinking the role. You're overthinking it.
Overthinking what?
It's unusual readings. You're overthinking what happened here.
No, I'm trying to ask a question. I'm thinking of other possibility of questions. Like, is it a colony?
Okay, no, okay, you're overthinking it. It's anomalous reading, so it's some sort of energy that we cannot determine.
Okay. I don't think I'm overthinking. I just think I'm just asking other questions, but okay.
I don't think that question would pertain to that.
Okay, that's different than overthinking.
Right. I think you're trying to take the information and trying to like, what exactly did we scan for when it kind of doesn't really have anything to do with what you scanned. Like the outcome wasn't what you scanned for.
Okay, you guys don't get to where I'm coming from then, so never mind. I was trying to base this what the question was so that we could use more momentum to compound on it. And so I was just trying to make sure what we already figured out that don't overlap.
Right. Okay, what I'm trying to say is you overthinking that you try to overthink the information you were given. It had really nothing to do with what you were scanning for. The questions deal with the information you were given from the scan.
Can I ask what material the anomaly is made out of? If it is indeed made of a material.
You're not able. Yeah, I could take that question. It'll cost you an actual momentum, though.
Are we cool with doing that?
That's what I was trying to do. Okay, I'm gonna walk away for about 5.
Okay, so you do not detect any types of metals. It is unusual readings. You cannot determine what it is exactly.
Okay, Captain.
So like you don't know if it's metal. You don't know if it's energy. It's just something.
Okay. So yeah, further scans haven't revealed anything. It's still just an anomalous blip on our radar. But we at least know its location. Do you want to investigate further, Captain?
Let's investigate further, Commander. Take us there.
Aye, Captain. Setting course for the anomalous reading.
As the ship approaches the coordinates, a brilliant flash of light temporarily blinds the crew, and a ship appears in the space before the Imjin. The ship is an old Ambassador-class ship, and as you study the ship, the distress beacon starts again. There is no doubt it is the same signal detected by the probes. Just by looking at the ship, you can see severe damage to the hull and breaches and buckling occurring all over the ship.
Commander, take us to Red Alert and hail them.
All hands.
Just out of character, are we all back on the bridge, or?
Well, once you get the Red Alert, you'd head back up there. I don't think we've had time to tell you to come back to the bridge.
No, I mean, like, because he did the scan and then we started traveling again. So did we go back to the bridge then?
You guys were probably still trying to figure out the pods, but you guys received the Red Alert, Caxlon, just as that happened.
Cool. Got it. On the way back to the bridge.
Are we doing the time warp again? Is this yesterday's Enterprise?
It's just a jump to the left.
Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Regov reporting for duty, sir. Pretends to put out a cigarette, or no, not a cigarette, but a cigar out of habit.
Take your station, Commander. I think the commander was in the middle of hailing them before all that.
Lieutenant Mac is open hailing frequencies to the. We're assuming it's.
You get no response to hails.
No response, Captain.
Is the ship... Scan the ship and see if the ship is being affected by anything, if it's still being damaged, or if it seems stable.
Scanning the ship.
All right. Reason and science or reason and engineering, difficulty 3. Assisted by ship's sensors and whatever other stat you use.
Should I take the momentum on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, I believe that is perfectly at 3.
Yep. All right, our scans are showing that the main power, engines, tactical, main deflectors are all offline. There is also some severe buckling of hull and hull breaches. This is not an operational ship, Captain.
But there's not buckling still occurring? Like the ship is not being crushed or anything? It's
No,
just a
not
floating
currently.
derelict ship.
But it definitely sustained some severe damage at one point.
Regev looks over to the captain. Captain, should we send an away team?
Before we do that, Maddox, can you scan for atmosphere on the ship?
Scanning for atmosphere.
Life support is still functional.
Life support is still functional, though we would probably want to avoid the areas where it's been breached.
Are there any life signs? And I'm sure we have to spend a moment.
Yeah, this one would require the momentum.
Do it.
Okay. Scanning for life signs.
Well, we would spend the momentum and he'll just answer the question.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Yeah, are there life signs? No life signs aboard the ship, Captain. I can only detect remains.
So did the ship just appear out of nowhere?
It maybe has something to do with the anomalous energy readings that we have here.
I think we put the ship under tow and tow it away from here. Something's going on here, and I don't want to go venturing off on board the other ship while it's in some energy soup. Any objections?
Agreed.
Sir, I think we should run an analysis on if the ship is capable of getting a tractor beam towed on it, if that'll cause further damage or not.
Maddox, scan to see how well the ship would hold up under tractor beam.
AFK, real quick.
Scanning for that.
I will let you use another momentum for the information.
Okay.
And so I got you guys down to 2.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where did my information go? There it is.
So I guess I'm scanning for like overall integrity of the ship.
Yeah. I just had to add something to what I was going to give you. There we go.
Structural integrity is functioning and also seems to have more power routed to it than normal. That's interesting.
Let's
What's the power? If the main
So
power is off,
was the anomalous readings we detected just the ship, or is there some other kind of weird energy stuff going on around here?
Once the ship appeared, you no longer read the anomalous readings.
Okay. I don't think we need to tow it then. I was under the impression that there was some kind of weird energy fields going on.
that's what I was picturing.
Yeah, so essentially, like you saw the anomalous reading. As you guys approached it, a bright light flashed, and as the light dimmed, there was the ship. And the anomalous reading went away with that.
Quick out of character question. Was that a white light?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm back. What happened?
Let's
I'm wondering if we I'm just wondering, Captain, if we didn't pass through
something. What do you mean?
It's either that the ship appeared before us or we passed through something. Anomalous readings, we detected the ship wasn't there and then it just mysteriously appeared. I'm just wondering, can we scan to see our location?
Lieutenant Maddox, do a quick scan to calculate our position and the star date.
Yes, doing so.
So I'm taking it we got pulled into the light or something?
We are in the correct place and time, sir.
I don't think we've been pulled anywhere.
I'm
It seems
asking
like the ship got.
out of character because I had to answer the door real quick.
Right. It seems like this thing just appeared out of nowhere after a bright flash of light, which was the anomalous reading. But it doesn't look like we got pulled through anything. Looks like the Sarek got pulled through something. Or appeared through something.
I suggest we send an away team.
Sounds good. Commander, you have the bridge. Kerr and Regov and Michelson, you're with me.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Captain.
We're gonna go to the transporter room.
All right. So you guys get to the transporter room, and the away team is beamed onto the bridge of the Sarek. When you materialize on board the ship, you see the bodies of the crew, still dressed in their old-style uniforms, dead near their post. The bodies appear to have died only recently. As you look around in the emergency lighting, many of the stations are still powered on.
I'm gonna lean down to scan one of the bodies to see what you mean by recently. Like, are we talking like a month? Are we talking about 10 minutes?
It's probably closer to hours.
I'm gonna combat. Commander Prax, we're reading that these people have died just recently. I need you to send over a medical team so that in case we do find someone alive, we can transport them back over and address any wounds they have before we transport.
Ensign Michelson just is going to walk over to the helm area and start tapping a few things. Since he heard him say hours, he's going to check the computer for the onboard star date. Check the shipboard chronometer.
As far as you're able to tell, the chronometer still reads correct and normal.
Our time or the time from the ship?
Your time.
Huh.
Lieutenant Kia, assemble a medical team and beam over to
I'll have them sent to you.
I'm going to go to the nearest panel and bring up engineering and check the integrity of the ship and what we got going on.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a reason or control using your science, engineering, or security difficulty 2.
Okay, let's see. Composure work here?
I don't think so because I don't really see this as a stressful situation.
Stressful. Okay, then the other one would be metallurgy.
No, I don't think I can
Okay.
sell that one either.
That. Complication range.
Can I assist him with a focus in computers?
Yes. Yes, because essentially, as you guys look at the bridge, all of the ship stations are still functioning normally.
Gotta make sure you select.
Regov is gonna overlook the tactical station and check to see what's operational. Shields,
Momentum for us.
weapons, etc.
All right, go ahead and roll an assist using your either control and reason and security as well.
Oh, he used security.
Well, there's 3 different ways you guys can do this.
Yeah,
So-
I use my control engineering.
So right. No, that's fine. So essentially I'm just throwing this all into one giant task because there's information for everything.
Oh, so you wanted me to roll 2 then?
Yeah, so you can roll as an assist roll using either control and reason and your security skill. So you guys bank 3 momentum. And so essentially what you guys are receiving or what you guys are getting is the active logs of the ship, like from what the consoles were reading. So there's 1. There's 2. And who was the other one on the ship?
Regov.
Me and Regov are on the ship.
So Regov rolled. Ensign Michelson. Okay, that was the other one. I couldn't remember who all rolled. All right. Yeah, so I should have sent you guys all the information.
I can hear you breathing, Kerr.
So yeah, this should have went to Lieutenant Commander Kerr, Lieutenant Commander Regov, and Ensign Michelson. Let me know if you did not get it.
I got it.
What are we seeing?
It looks like the ship was pulled into a subspace anomaly, Captain. Select few were ordered to stay behind to try and fix the ship, but everybody else got into the escape pods, it looks like. Going back, it looks like... Okay, their attempt to escape the first time damaged almost all the damage that we're seeing, it looks like. Other than that, that's it as to what happened to this ship. At least from what I can see.
I can also see that Captain ordered everyone to order, all but a select few to abandon the ship. That'd explain some of the pods that we found. However, I'm not... Okay, out of character. Did we see bodies inside the escape pods?
Yes.
Okay. So that would explain the escape pods. However, he checks the amount of life pods. We are missing this number of life pods.
There's probably about 25 escape pods missing from the ship.
So we found 12 and missing 13 then.
It sounds like they got trapped in some kind of subspace anomaly that had a temporal distortion. Since they have only experienced hours, whereas the escape pods experienced 30 years. Didn't we when we found the bodies or whatever, they had decayed for a long time? Or were they also just hours?
Like in the escape pods?
No, the escape pods were decades old.
Yeah, but
They
we didn't.
Well, the ship is decades old, but had it seemed like decades since this escape pods had been fired?
Yeah. So like, what was the condition of the bodies in the escape pods versus it looks like they just died on the ship?
Do I remember what the condition of the bodies was on the escape pods?
You do, and I believe you said it.
Oh, that they were decades old?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the bodies had been decomposing for decades. It had been decades since it had even lost power, which means it was probably even older than we know. I wouldn't even know how to... We'd have to run experiments on the bodies in order to truly determine their age.
Oh, quick question. Who is on the Sarek?
The captain, the ensign, the Lieutenant Commander Regov, and Kerr.
Okay. So Lieutenant Maddox is not on the ship.
I'm still on the bridge.
Right. So yeah, you probably weren't privy to that conversation.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were just talking over combat. Never mind.
Why wouldn't we?
Well, I would have remembered that he found that information off. My character would.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna go to the captain's ready room and look through the captain's logs. And I'm gonna say, Kerr, you want to take a look at engineering, see if you can get her under power?
Sure.
Stroll continues his check of the weapon system and shields. Oh, no, it's not Stroll. Regov.
So the weapon systems are offline.
And Michelson does a cursory check on helm control.
The engines do not appear to be responding.
Okay, do I have at least thrusters?
No.
I have no control whatsoever. Okay.
Correct.
Ensign, you're not going to be able to do much there. You might go help Kerr.
Yeah, figured I'd at least check though, Captain. Headed down to engineering.
I'm going to go into the captain's ready room and look at his logs.
All right. So you all kind of go off to your separate directions. Lieutenant Commander Kerr and the ensign head down to engineering. Captain go to the captain's ready room. What do you want to do first?
Check the warp core.
Okay. So main power is offline, but you do think that you could swap out a few parts to kind of restore main power to the ship.
Well, before I do that, I want to see what happened as to why they're broken in the first place first.
Right.
No use replacing parts for it to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
So let me just double check. I don't have a roll for that later.
So for me, it'd be basically the checklist, like they would in the Apollo 13, where they pull out their book and go through the numbers, making sure of what exactly is going on with engineering.
Right. So essentially, what happened here, kind of what you're telling from checking through the engine, as you're checking through engineering, is they tried to divert as much power as they could to structural integrity, and essentially tried to force their way out of the anomaly, blowing out many of the main systems. Main power went offline, engines got damaged. That it caused all the structural damage, the hull breaches, the buckling. It knocked out components of the deflector, and it knocked out shields and weapons as well.
Okay, so
So, like, the impact of them touching the anomaly caused all the damage.
okay, so I will call the captain and relay that information.
I'm gonna combat over to the commander. Commander Prax,
Yes, Captain.
can you attempt to tow us a few 100,000 kilometers just so we don't bump into this to an anomaly?
Can we
Yes,
scan
sir.
for the anomaly to see if it's present?
It wasn't present. We already determined that earlier. After the ship here, the anomaly disappeared.
So I get the impression that they've already forced their way out. So since they're out now, I will be able to replace parts and get the warp core online.
Correct.
Michelson walking around engineering probably turns to the lieutenant commander and goes, Lieutenant Commander, looks like we got a couple EPS relays out, deuterium injectors. Haven't checked on the dilithium crystals yet, but who knows the state they're in.
I'll give you the look like that's my job. Dilithium crystals. Stay away from. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'll probably ask him to help me pull out the dilithium tray and do a good overlook just to see if anything has brought them out of alignment, cracked them, or something that I need to stabilize before replacing all the parts and getting it turned on.
Yeah. So yeah,
a couple of EPS repairs over to him to fix out.
Right. So yeah, you kind of look over the engine and you think you have you figured out what components are out and what you need to realign, replace in order to get the main power back online.
And so just as a guesstimation, I'll be like, give us about an hour down here to have it all. It's just a lot of switching out parts and getting some stuff realigned. So it just takes time. Oh, and that's not one of those funny half the time funny Kirk statements either. We need an hour.
And while all that's going on, Regev pulls out a cigar and starts smoking it. Hey, he's
Good
following
thing I
the
don't-
captain's orders. He's not on the ship.
I'm gonna look through those logs to see if I can understand what they were doing and why they were out here.
Yeah. As you kind of go through the captain's logs, it kind of shows the captain logs of everything. As what said, they were trapped in an unknown anomaly. They have no idea where they're at. They tried to get out by rerouting structural integrity, but
I'm more interested in what they were doing before the anomaly was hit.
As far as the logs show, they were just traveling to join in the Klingon patrol mission along the border. They were just traveling along at probably warp 6, and poof.
Gone.
Since it'll be a part of my engineering information, get a file worth of the anomaly itself that all the sensors collected and send it to Maddox on the ship to review. Get an idea what the anomaly was.
Okay, I'm going to review the files.
Cool. We'll get to that one in a bit.
Since I didn't find anything, I'm gonna head down to engineering so I can lend a hand.
All right. I think at this point we could probably make the task roll for the main power. So this one will be reason or control and engineering difficulty 2.
Can it be insight? Because that's where my focus for engineering is.
If you could sell me on it, I could allow it.
I know my ship. engineer at heart, throughout the handbook and wrote my own, all of those values. Know them like the back of my hand. You're
I'm
pausing
still-
too long. I'll just
I'm still not kind of sold on it.
Oh, that's fine. Reason, yeah. I took the Telluride on the basis of insight for engineering, not reason. So, as a more like gifted than bookwork.
Okay, that I could accept that answer.
Okay. All right, and then for my focus, because this deals with engineering, warp field dynamics, or transporters and replicators. Focus.
Field. Trying to think
Well,
if
actually, warp field dynamics is after the warp core is going. So
Right.
never mind. That's
Yeah.
that's after.
Yeah, I was trying to think if what exactly is main power. Is it made off of the warp core?
Do you have
Is it warp field or is it warp core dynamics?
Yeah, gotcha.
do you have power systems?
No. Mm-mm. I have metallurgy, bioneural circuitry. That if this ship has that, but again, that's more storage supply than power supply. Xenobiology and composure. So none of them fit right now. That's good. And then how many momentum do we have right now?
I got you at 5.
Okay, spending 1. I always will. Why not? That's what they're for. And complication range is to 1?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. You get the momentum back. If there's anybody that wanted to assist, since you guys are kind of all repairing the ship together, or whoever's in engineering.
I'll assist him. What was
Control or reason and engineering.
Yeah.
it? It's not going to be pretty.
Rig, if
can I help him?
starts heading down there.
Yeah, can I help him overcome?
Probably not, because he's physically trying to make the fixes.
Fair.
Probably Ensign Michelson can help us. but
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
need the
Yeah,
momentum
I
because
was gonna make-
6.
Yeah, I think
I
the
would-
only person that really knows what's going on would probably be the ensign, because he's been down there the entire time.
Yeah, I was gonna make my own roll because I've got something I want to do with it.
Wait, actually, before Regov heads down, can he do anything that would help from the bridge with that task?
Not with the task, but you guys crushed the task. So you got 4 successes, so you're back up to 6. And the lieutenant commander kind of realigns the dilithium crystals, replaces a few EPS conduits, kind of yells at the ensign to move occasionally because he's in the way. And after a few short moments, after he actually starts to fix it, the main power comes back on and the ship lights up.
All the lights, all the hums, all the awesomeness. Oh, listen to her purr, Captain.
I'll stay on the bridge just in case.
Okay. I thought this was gonna be an extended task.
And we're actually going to jump to scene 4. So I got you guys at 5 momentum.
5. Okay. I was hoping Michelson would roll one because I'd use that floating momentum to say we got it done in a third the time. And then I would have lied about my hour. See, Yep, and so that's when I kind of look at Michelson. I'm like, there's something that's specifically for you up on the bridge that's running now.
Yeah, might as well get up there and even see if we can move this crate.
I look over. This button says, "Yeah."
So you guys just got the main power. The engines are still offline.
Oh,
Okay. So, here's where I would step in and just like slide over to, because I have a 3 in engineering. I kind of know what I'm doing.
You can
I
use your
slide
con.
over.
It's specific when you're flight controller. You can use your con for any task to repair engines or.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I try to get those up and running, but I also want to use my value precise to a fault for a D20 rolled as a nat
All right,
one.
all right. Hold on. So at the start of this scene, I actually had something for the ops officer.
Okay, I am going to calm everyone, and I'm saying, guys, the anomalous readings are back on my radar, and it is currently moving towards both ships.
Oh boy.
Warp engine. Warp engine. Warp engine. Ugh. It's not
Okay,
I'm gonna
turning.
com badge to Prax. Commander, we're gonna try to get this ship running, but keep an eye on the anomaly, and when we're down to the wire, beam us out and take us out of here if we don't have the ship repaired.
I should probably inform you guys that it's extremely close.
Oh,
Like,
Can I tell how
Can I-
far away it is?
Essentially, like what you did report is really all the time you had.
I want to do a Scotty kick the warp core and have it start maneuver because we have no time right now.
All right, so before any actions can be taken, a bright light blinds both crews on both ships.
Oh man!
Who are on the bridge. As the blinding light subsides and your eyes adjust, you look out of the view screen and you see the area of space has changed, and you see a sea of red and oranges making waves like gentle waves of an ocean.
ooh.
In the view screen, you are able to see the other ship. So, like, if you're on the Imjin, you see the Sarek. If you're on the Sarek, you see the Imjin.
So that
Okay,
means we're both here.
I report that to the crew down in the engine room, or down in engineering. What Regov is seeing.
I'm gonna com badge over to the commander. Commander, what are we seeing?
I was about ready to, Lieutenant Maddox, give me a report on where we're at. I'll keep the comm badge on.
Trying to determine our location.
All right, Commander Maddox, roll Reason and Science, difficulty 3.
He's done got promoted.
Or did I say Lieutenant? Sorry. Everyone's like a Lieutenant Commander on this ship.
Can I
Except
use
for
my
me.
expertise in computers for any of this, by the way? My focus, I mean, in computers for any of
Probably not, because you're using sensors.
Okay.
If you had sensor operations, then yes.
Can I
Probably
assist
should've
with
taken-
Prax?
Oh, yeah, I've also got the ship.
So yeah, we just
Well, I
need the
gave
ship.
you an order too, so I can technically assist with them, right?
Yeah, if you gave him the direct or whatever, then yes.
Don't forget you have 5 momentum.
Yeah, he used one for the initial task roll. Then we just need the ship, and actually the ship doesn't decrease the difficulty to 2, so it is passed right now. We just need the ship to roll. Cool.
All right, barely there, but we got it.
All right, where are you? There you are. So this is what you get when you scan the anomaly.
The space inside the anomaly is decreasing. Is the space around us closing in?
Is that yes? Yes, it is.
Yes. The space that is currently containing us appears to be closing in.
Does it have the formation of a warp-filled bubble?
Does it
No.
have the...
No. Okay.
Can I tell what energy signature it is, if any?
If that's your question, I'll accept it, and you cannot determine. You can't really read the anomaly.
I can't.
Can Regov use the sensors on the other ship? Or those destroy too?
Actually, let me check my notes. Let me see if they're still working. So I had a list of things that still worked on your ship. Let me pull that up. As far as I can tell, I did not say the sensors do not work, so you have them.
Alrighty, so he's going to do his own scan and see what he can determine based off of what was just relayed over the comm.
Cool. So I think yours can probably be a reason security. Probably still difficulty 3. And then you would use the Sarek stats
I got it pulled up.
for sensors and security.
Okay,
And you guys would have to tell me what high risk sensor does.
It just gives them a bonus momentum when they're not in combat
Okay,
to ask information.
cool. So yeah, it is difficulty 3.
you guys mind if I burn a momentum?
I will always say use them when they were there. That's the point.
You discover no new information.
Captain, I discovered no new information.
Nope, that's right.
Oh, the starship doesn't decrease the difficulty?
It does not, because they have high-res sensors and not advanced sensors.
Oh, okay.
How long do we have, Lieutenant, before the space around us starts collapsing the hull?
See, that is a good momentum spend for obtain information.
So up to you guys if you want to spend the momentum.
Do it.
Oh, definitely, because we need that info.
We
All
do.
right.
We do.
So I got you guys down to 2 momentum.
You estimate the ships have less than an hour before they're crushed. Before we're crushed.
Comm line is still open, right?
Correct. And I think at this point, I think the captain ordered it to remain open. So I think you guys are pretty good to talk freely.
Okay, so Michelson looks at Lieutenant Commander Kerr and goes, "Ideas?"
Well, the last time, according to that the Sarek tried to punch its way out, they whether they found a hole or something to the effect, which we might want to look for, when they tried to punch through, it was very, very bad. So whatever we do in that same light, we need to reinforce or restructure or come at it at a different way, or otherwise we're going to have the same issues, same broken stuff.
Yeah. Either way, we're probably going to want the engines online for sure.
Well, absolutely, but I don't think it's a matter of us punching out. I think we need to figure out how to get the anomaly to flash again so that we phase to the correct location, not try to punch to it.
Yeah.
Out of character real quick, what is the role for the ship scan?
Generally, it's like control or reason in science.
No, I mean like the actual ship.
Oh, it's to scan. It's like whatever stat I decide in normally sensors.
Okay, so in that instance, it was security from the ship then.
Right.
Okay.
Could it have been turning on the power system? To cause this to come back?
Interesting. That's more of a science viewpoint than yeah.
Yeah. The issue with that, Captain, when the Imjin came into the area of this anomaly with our power systems on, wouldn't it have... Wait, it did flash because... Huh.
Can we look to
Triggered my
see?
power systems.
Can we look to see if the engine was modified on the Sarek anyway? Because he said that it had higher than normal power on the ship.
Well, he said they were sending power to structure because of all the stuff that was going on. So they just rerouted power to help.
Lieutenant Maddox, do you think you can possibly punch a hole through whatever space we're in using the deflector array?
I mean, we
Open
can
hypo-
try. We still don't know exactly what happened or what they tried to do on the Sarek. Do you want to determine that before we try throwing things at this whatever it is?
Yeah, and hopefully that's that. Remember when I sent you the information pack on that happened?
Yeah.
That. Yeah, exactly.
I should is it okay if I research that and see if I can diagnose what they tried with the Sarek so that we don't make the same mistake?
Yes.
Okay. Can I use my focus in diagnostics for this?
Diagnostics. I think.
Presumably to like diagnose issues and.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how diagnosis would work. Would that be more in of a technical sense?
I think computers. I think computers would now work because you are looking out.
Yeah, because I'm thinking more your computer skill would probably
or computers, yeah,
be the way to go. Because, like, to me, diagnosis is like diagnosing like what's wrong with the power system, not like researching. Yeah,
researching. Okay, so I'll use computers then. And I'm being assisted by the computer for this?
Yes, you are assisted by the ship's computers, and depending on what skill you use, it'll either be science or engineering.
Okay, I'm going to use. And what's the difficulty roll?
For this one, I think a difficulty 1 task.
Okay. Yay.
So you bank 2 momentum. Cool. All right, so this is exactly what the Sarek did to get out the second time.
Okay, this is what the Sarek did to get out the second time. It looks like it pushed as much power to the structural integrity as possible and tried to force its way out of the anomaly at its smallest point, just before it was collapsing. Looks like they maybe got caught, or at least sustained enough damage to kill everyone on board.
Is there any signal that we could put out that would keep the anomaly from shrinking? I may stay that off a bit.
That's what I was trying to do with the energy signatures, to see if there was anything we could use to counteract it. Do I know if there's anything we could use to stop them?
There's nothing from the Sarek's logs.
Yeah, nothing from the Sarek.
All right, so with that information, so here's what's going to happen. Since the anomaly is shrinking, the next part is going to be a timed interval section. So because you guys only have the hour or whatever, you only have 8 time intervals in which to do any task you want to do before you must attempt a contest to get out. So essentially you have the 8 timed intervals, and then the last task you do, which would technically be task 10 or time interval 10, would be the contest to try to fly out of the anomaly.
Turn on the warp core.
Yeah, we need to get the Sarek's warp core operational.
Yeah, fix the engines.
Regov, well, since he's still on the bridge, unless you want him to relocate anywhere, probably try to scan for an exit if there is one.
You could probably work on reinforcing structural integrity.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna scan for exits
Okay,
or
so
weak points in the anomaly. Possible exits.
okay, so who wants to go first and tell me what you're doing?
Me, because I want the warp core engine on now.
Okay.
And I'll assist him.
All right, so this is going to be, I got it listed as control or reason and engineering, difficulty 3.
Again, can we stay
yep.
with insight?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as you can sell me on an alternative way to do it, as long as I think it makes sense in the realm of the task you're doing, I'll most likely allow it. Just for the sake of writing the task out, I just kind of write like a baseline, like, okay, this is what I think it should be. And then if you guys have like, I think my character would actually be more this way. And if you sell me on it, then yes.
And
Okay. And now that we're in a
control-
time situation, I am using composure. Please, sir.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Okay.
And
Spinning
then,
momentum.
so before the roll, what was the ensign going to say?
Control con from my assist, since it's getting the engines back up in line.
Yep. Yeah, because you said you're the flight controller or whatever, so yeah.
Yep.
So you use the momentum, right? So I got you guys at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And assist roll. Yes.
So you get the momentum back.
Oh, what was the difficulty? 3?
3.
3.
Okay. Good deal.
All right, let me just write everybody's names down really quick so I can kind of mark off who's doing what. Or who's went.
Mm-hmm.
Prax.
Now the warp core is humming.
Yes. So yes, you are able to get, so you got the engines back online. And as far as you can tell, all the engines are back. Thrusters, impulse, warp.
And so if that's that moment where Michelson has also done his task in the sense that we're both checked off, that's when I point to him and point to the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Go.
I literally bolt out of the door of engineering, running at full sprint to the con.
And then if I'm alone, I lock the engineer to myself.
I think the captain is still down there currently.
Oh.
I'm gonna head back
Then
up to the bridge.
Then I look
too.
at him like, oh, sorry, and lock it for a second. There you go.
Captain, what were you doing?
I'm gonna head back up to the bridge too.
Okay. So that's your minor. So you'll be able to take an action next turn. Prax, Regoff, Maddox.
So, can Regov help them scan while they're scanning? Like, have the two ships work together, sync the computers wirelessly, and come up with more accurate scanning that way?
Sure, I think you could. I think you guys can scan in tandem.
So basically,
Okay.
since they have better science than me, I'll just be this ship will assist and my character will assist as well, if that works.
Right. So yeah. So go ahead and have you and Lieutenant Maddox kind of talk. And what are you guys scanning for?
We're scanning for weak points. We're looking for possible exits from the anomaly.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me. I think I have this written: reason or control. With your science difficulty 2.
I have a character question. Does Regov helping with the sensors keep him from doing structural integrity?
Correct.
Oh, you guys might want to rethink that.
I'll be up there.
But
Yeah.
remember, so you guys have 8 intervals. This is the first 2 intervals of the task. So
Yeah,
he can
fine.
so yeah, he can help with the scans and then do something else after the scans are done. If that makes
Okay,
sense.
just making sure.
So with 8 timed intervals, each task you do takes 2 time intervals. So without spending any momentum, you guys at least have 4 tasks. before you have to attempt the con roll.
Okay, I'm going to roll. We've got enough helping. I'm not going to. And
You said it's control and science in this time?
Right.
All right.
All right, cool. And then I just need both ships to assist.
I already rolled for the
Yep. I saw yours. Cool. So I got 1, 2, 3 successes. Is that what I'm seeing?
yeah.
Cool. Yep. All right. So as you guys are kind of scanning the anomaly and kind of like taking note of how it's closing in on you, one of the sections of the anomaly looks like it's thinning out as it's squeezing together.
Weak point of a balloon.
Okay, Riggov displays that on the screen so everyone on the bridge can see that clearly.
I do the same on my.
All right, and then I think we have Commander Prax and the medical officer.
We're on interval 2.
So you two are on interval 1 right now.
Okay. Like, I have an idea, but I'd be like, kind of. I don't know if I could do it yet or not.
So I mean, if you need to wait one, I mean, I guess you could pass the turn, I guess, and we could move on.
Can I do
If it
like
makes-
a reason? Can I do like from the data we have? Can I do like a reason science check to sort of test the hypothesis?
What's the hypothesis?
I was thinking about using the deflector array to emit a gravitational pulse towards the weak area, and try to make it easier for the ships to pass through.
And what's the role you want to set up?
Reason science.
Okay, I will allow it. Difficulty 3.
Right, all the type of beams. Tachyon, chromacon, gravitational. There's so many.
And I will allow you to be assisted by your ship's computer and science.
Can I buy it? Use a momentum. Or do you want to save?
Use them up.
What are we at, anyways?
I got you at 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy one die.
Okay.
What's the assist?
It would be reason science.
Difficulty 3, right?
Yep.
No, do not set the complication to 3. It's how many successes you need in order to succeed at the task. So you're just rolling one die.
Holy God, that's exactly the role they needed.
She like comes out of nowhere. Let me do this.
Okay, so Commander Prax, as you're kind of studying the telemetry from the Sarek, you're looking at the anomaly around you. You kind of come to the conclusion that the Sarek might have tried to do your similar thing, to do a similar thing, but ended up blowing out their main deflector. But you suspect that is maybe how they got out the first time.
Okay. Now, since the engine's deflector is more advanced, I'm assuming that hopefully it might. Well, using the advanced sensors, we might be able to target better than the Sarek. That's out of game. Sorry. Actually,
Yeah. So yeah, the Imjin has the long range sensors, and the other ship has high resolution sensors. So we'll get higher resolution at longer ranges, basically. Was that what you're trying to get at?
no,
or-
that's not.
It's a good thought. I think you might be on to something, Commander. But yeah, so that'll be time interval. So that would be 2 time intervals. You guys have 6 left. So we'll go ahead and go to the next group, or if anybody wants to take an immediate action or to do an action first.
I'd like to go first this round if I'm on the bridge by now.
Yes, you just got up to the bridge and you're able to take your action.
Okay, I want to run a quick check on all systems. I mean, thrusters, make sure everything's responding. Like maybe from the thrusters, run like a quick burst, keep it station keeping, but just making sure that they're all working.
Okay.
And if they're not working right, since we have the time, relay information to Lieutenant Commander Kerr for any adjustments that need to be made.
Cool. As you do that, as far as you can tell, everything is working within parameters for an older ship. It's more sluggish because it's an older ship, but they seem to be working.
Okay, so no roll involved. Okay.
Nope.
I want to attempt to increase the ship's ability to survive going through the anomaly again.
Okay.
I'll be helping the captain.
All right. So what exactly are you guys doing?
I'm going to reinforce structural integrity and maybe reinforce the shields.
Ooh.
Okay. So
There's a step before that I want to do that actually helps that is find out exactly what they tried to set up in the first time when they did that and see how the anomaly beat it down and how to do this time correctly and what needs to be reinforced from the information and values that we have from 2 previous.
You want you can find the information on what we need to do, and then me and him can work it out. That's what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Because, again, it's back to no use setting something up unless you know why from before.
Right. So it's good you said that, Lieutenant Kerr. So this one I have it set up as reason or insight, using your science or engineering difficulty 1.
Okay. And since we are talking about structural integrity, finally does metallurgy come into play? I might be changing this focus out. I'm just telling you.
I don't think it does.
Then back to composure.
Yeah, composure's fine.
Okay. And again, spinning momentum. Pacha.
All right, so you spent 1, and then you got to max again. So you actually have 2 extra momentum currently. So I will give you this information. This is studying what they did to the structural integrity to try to get out really the second time at this point. This is what they did to try to get out the second time. And from studying, and the second part of that is kind of from studying the state of the ship currently.
Okay. The first time they power systems And so the engine should be able to match the. But like I said, we want to find out a better way of doing it this time. And then damage to the Sarek. Wait. That's not helping me in the sense of telling them what they need to change in the sense of the in sense of the structural stuff to make it better. But I mean, we already need to fix the ship. That's given.
Right.
But that doesn't help them on what they need to reinforce. So I don't think point two.
But it helps the Imjin.
It says the Sarek will need to be.
So
fixed.
the first part is the Imjin should be able to match the reroutes, meaning that the Imjin, if they don't reinforce their structural integrity, would be at risk still.
Oh, that in my head, that's a given. Because if the Sarek's got to reinforce, the engine's got to also. So I apologize. That's to me that was already something that I thought was understood. And then, like I said, we just got to fix the rest of the stuff on the Sarek, or otherwise it's going to explode.
Right.
And also nobody
So we
else
need
knows,
repair time.
Nobody else knows this but you, so you might want to tell the engine.
No, what I mean is we had already discussed that both ships need to reinforce structural integrity before we do anything. So I thought that conversation was already out there. So I thought I'm just repeating it.
You know what I'm talking about is like whatever he sent you, like what exactly needs to get done. Like
yeah, that the engine should reinforce structural integrity just like we are. I mean, but again, I thought we had already talked about that. So.
Kind of did, but
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's just so in my head, Kerr is role playing by saying stuff that we've already talked about. Just should still be looked at and reinforced. So
we're gonna look at actually doing that now.
Yeah. Can I send out orders to teams to start reinforcing the engine, the crew?
So so for the engine for that role, it's just going to be or I guess you're wanting to send them out. So this would probably be your presence command difficulty 2.
Oh God, presence
command. I would say either presence command or presence engineering. I think.
Let's use presence.
Let me and him switch because he's got the crew to command around and I don't. We would be better at each other's roles in this sense.
Yeah, that's right. You can do this then.
No, I can't because I'm not on your ship. I'm on the ship with no one to command.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
You have the comms open, so yes, you do.
Okay. Here's a better way. Like you can have the engineering crews work with you while you try to reinforce the structural integrity of the ship.
Okay.
That might be a better way of going.
Okay. Who is on the bridge of the engine?
Me.
It's just Prax right now and me.
Yeah.
And a bunch of NPCs filling the stations.
NPCs filling the stations. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure my post was again. So yeah, I'll run and to reinforce.
All right. So for this one, then it's going to be reason or control plus engineering difficulty 2.
Oh. Benjamin. If that's okay.
Yeah, you guys are knocking these rolls out. You make the same adjustments that the Sarek did, kind of following their lead on that, and you're able to reinforce the structural integrity by rerouting power from some of the from some of the non-essential systems.
Okay.
Quick out of character question. I don't know if it's possible, but is there a way that we can link up like the navigational controls for when we do the con check?
It could be possible.
Okay.
You might look into that.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
guys, but yeah, like that's like something like that's more of a role play thing. So I
Okay.
don't think you really need to like out of character, like bring it up, and we could see.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Like I'd rather have you guys role play that. Like, hey, can we link our computers and do it through a role play than asking me out of character? You know, I think it kind of breaks the tension a little bit.
All right.
If that makes sense. Like role play.
Yeah.
Try to role play more.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so we got Regoff,
Yeah, me and Rick
Prax,
tried to.
and the cap. Oh yeah, you guys had your. So you guys were going to try to reinforce the integrity
On our ship.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, so yours is probably going to be the same role, reason, or control plus engineering difficulty 2.
I have a engineering of 2, control of 11. I assume that the chief engineer is going to be the main role.
No, I'm gonna be the main role.
Oh, okay.
Control engineering. I'm gonna spend a momentum.
Okay, I got you to 5.
And then
Yeah, I think the yeah. So yeah, you are able to duplicate what they did also, and are able to move back some of the power that were going to non-essential systems, probably the life support on decks that you don't need, and are able to transfer it over.
And then I'm gonna, as follow my lead, since I succeeded at a task during a perilous situation, I'm gonna spend a determination to give the ensign help from my presence command when he tries to do the con roll.
So the con roll is still a ways away, just so you know.
Yeah,
I'm not
but it just says the next task they attempt, I guess. It doesn't have to be.
Right. But if the con roll is not happening next, you might waste it.
Yeah, it's not happening the next round because I'm going to try and do something, but it'll happen the turn after that.
So, like, essentially, you guys have 2 full rounds before you must attempt the con check.
So who still has to go, basically?
Prax and Kai is who I got in this interval.
So that's where it needs to go then, right? In other words.
Well, like what I'm saying is, since he's using his determination, it might be wise to save it and not use it now.
Oh, okay.
That depends on if I'm going to be able to do another thing. So we have. Are you saying we have another 2 rounds where everyone's going to do something?
Correct.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just save it.
And remember, there's still a lot of stuff on the Sarek that's broke.
I'm gonna order engineering teams to modify the deflect array to use for the idea that I and Kia came up with to help use the deflector to punch a hole in whatever dimensional space we're.
Okay. So this will be so you said you're commanding them, correct?
Correct.
Commander?
Yes. Did you?
Okay. So yeah, so this would probably be then just your presence command. Difficulty 2.
And we're at full momentum.
Correct.
Okay. And would my composure count as a focus?
I don't think so in this case because you're ordering someone else to do the work.
Okay. So I'm assuming strategy and tactics wouldn't count because that's more for battle.
For battle, yeah.
I'm gonna spend momentum to buy a die. If that's all right.
And you get it back. And you issue those orders, and as you kind of read the control panels, you kind of see that the deflector is starting to be modified to conform to your specifications.
What exactly does composure do? Because I put that on my guy, but I'm trying to. I've seen it attempted to be used twice this game. What exactly?
It's like calm. Like to me, it's more like calm under pressure. Like being able to stay in control as you're in intense situations.
Okay.
Okay. So is Lieutenant Kai doing anything?
Lieutenant Diane.
I think we'll just move on to interval 6 now.
Okay, in that case, with the comm line still open, I want to go Instant Teaks. Can you try and slave the Imjin's con system to the Sarek's?
You can try.
Just so you're aware, I can actually use on interval 6 one of the support characters who has like a 4 con and 11 bearing.
That's the one I've got it pulled up on mine, and that's the one I was trying to talk to. But I figured it probably would be both of us trying to do a roll, because it might need the captain's command codes and all the computer stuff to try and synchronize it.
Okay, so this one I'm going to make. I think it'll probably be. Let me look at a character sheet really quick. I want to be sure about these stats. So you're trying to link the computers to sync the helm control.
Yes, so that way when I try and do the con check in the near future, not only do I do it for the Sarek, but I do it for the Imjin as well from
Correct.
the same console.
Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what. So it's definitely going to be con. I guess control. Yeah, I think control makes the most sense.
Okay, and then focusing computers or helm operations, I think both would apply.
I think both would apply.
So
I'm going to actually make this, because instead of rolling one for each ship for a con roll, you're going to be rolling once. I'm actually going to make this difficulty 5.
Okay.
But it's going to be assisted by the other con officer if you use a crew support.
Okay.
And assisted by both ships using their computers. Computers con? Yeah, computers con.
Okay, I would also like to buy 1 die using momentum and give you 2 threat to buy a 2nd die.
Okay.
We have momentum. I don't know that you need to do that.
One of my talents, I'm activating it. Bold. So I'm rolling 4 dice.
Correct. And then, like I said, if you guys use a crew support, you're going to get the assist from the NPC. and each ship will assist in this task also.
Okay, so this is a bunch of dice. There's that one.
Or you're just gonna hit it all in once.
Wait, I hit it all in once?
You sure did.
Well,
So and that one roll right there got you the full momentum. So yes, you sink it expertly.
It's like I do this shit blind.
No, I didn't even need to activate my bold. I just wanted it in case I rolled a 0.
Yeah, so who's next?
Do we still have to roll for the Sarek too?
At this point, you're at full momentum again, so I think we could just save the rolls.
Okay.
Can I I'll ask in character. Commander Prax. I think I can attempt to synchronize our deflector pulses to. Oh wait, is the deflector dish repaired?
It is not.
I'm gonna try to repair the deflector dish.
And I'll assist.
Okay, so this task is probably going to have to be done in engineering,
Okay.
or more specifically in deflector control.
I guess I will head to deflector control then.
And so this is going to be a reason and engineering difficulty 2. However, you wouldn't be able to make the roll till next turn because you're moving in the ship.
I think Starell's moving with me.
Yep. Yeah, I'm assisting the captain. with
And then
repairs.
the next one's our last one, right?
Right. So everybody will get one more turn, and then the con task happens because that's going to be the points specified. So the only thing that would happen then is the con roll.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm gonna send Reg off, and I'm gonna calm down to Kerr. Kerr, can you meet Regov in the deflector control room and repair the deflector dish?
Sorry, Captain. I'm doing
Your what?
structural integrity.
Didn't we already do that?
Yeah,
For
structure.
the Imjin, but not for the Sarek.
No, they were both taken care of.
That was my.
That was the last one.
I think I'm gonna go. Everybody's stepping on my toes. This has been the worst day ever. I'm gonna see you guys later.
Alrighty then. So let's
Yeah.
play him as NPC.
I'm about to do one better. I'm already kind of irritated this week. Okay, so you guys are heading down to deflector control, right?
Well, I'm not going to because I'm going to actually use the deflector to make the pulse happen because I need to do that before the con happens. So I'm going to stay to do the shooting, and I was going to send Regov and Kerr to actually do the repair so that I could shoot.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so Kerr and Regoff will go down there, and then are you taking any action this turn then?
Can I, since I'm ordering this, can I use my presence and command to instill in them a sense of urgency?
I'll tell you what. If you can roll me a presence command Difficulty 4 and you pass it, I will let them do the roll this turn.
Can I use a focus of lead by example?
Probably. That's your focus?
Yeah.
I don't think that'll fit. Because again, you're not physically doing the test, you're ordering it.
Okay, then I'll. How much momentum do we have?
6.
I'll spend 3.
Okay, down to 3. And I said difficulty 4, right?
Yep.
Yep. So they can do the task. They light a fire under their ass and they get. All right. So to repair the deflector, this roll is going to be reason or control and engineering difficulty 2.
Okay. Are we gonna still use his character sheet as the main role?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't have access to it, so it's what the captain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Captain Commander.
I can get it.
I got it.
That's my assist.
It's what? Insight engineering or reason engineering?
He was using insight.
And what was the number to beat?
2.
Probably just buy 1. He'll probably earn it back, but I'm gonna be safe.
Okay, down to 2.
Oh,
Gotta
right.
roll one more.
All right.
Cool. Yep, got it back. And so when you get to the deflector control, there are several burnt out circuits that control the deflector array, and you're able to easily diagnose the problem and replace the burnt out relays, and the deflector hums back to life.
Regev hits his badge. Captain, we got it back up and running.
Good job, Commander.
All right, so we got Prax, Maddox, Kai.
I'm going to Comprax. Commander, do you want me on the bridge or do you want me in the Imjin's
We're both on-
deflector control station?
Did you? Okay, you walked off the bridge. I would actually prefer you be on the bridge.
Okay, I walked off the bridge. Yeah, I but I'll go back on. I walked off to reinforce. But I'll run back to the bridge.
Okay. Commander, is there anything you're doing?
I'm just trying to think what else to do. We have the structure done. The deflector's been modified. The con's taken care of. That's all synced up. The only thing I can think of is to activate the deflector array and to see if it starts weakening the space or the hole we want to.
Yeah, I think we got to do that because I don't think we're gonna get to do that once we get to the con task.
Well, we would roll like technically, Michelson will go last at the end.
Yeah, so I was just saying that we actually have to make an effort to do the shooting.
I guess I'll go ahead and activate the deflect. But we have one more interval.
Right.
I'm just wondering if it'd be too.
So what you could do is you could rally and try to build up some momentum for these next tasks.
Create an advantage. Could do that.
Well, like,
Rally.
like rally is to gain momentum. Like it's like a difficulty 0 task or something, and it's used to just gain momentum. So you guys have a nice bank because right now you're at 3.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Then can I use empathy as a did it come?
Sorry, Commander, you're breaking up.
It's because my network card is messed up. I apologize. Can I use
no.
empathy as a
Empathy as a focus.
yes?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Was not for the Imjin. It's my role. It's not as the Imjin by it.
Yeah, it's so weird it does that. Cool. So yeah, you guys are up to 5. But then interval 8.
I'm gonna try to shoot the deflector dish, or use the deflector dish to shoot a gravitational beam at the.
Okay, so before you guys do anything, you might want to think of how you guys are going to try to get both ships out.
Their cons
I
are
thought-
together.
I thought that's what I had done because I linked the cons to where I could do one check to bring them both out.
Right, but I'm talking like with like the rest of the task. Like, are you guys going to sync deflectors? Try to shoot both your deflectors at the same time.
Oh, I did say something about that. I'm gonna combat
and like
over to the.
and like what ship is going first?
I'm gonna combat over the commander. Commander, let's try to sync up our deflector dishes so we can have a synchronized pulse, and then we'll follow you through.
Yep.
It looked like you tried to say something. Okay. Then I'm gonna let him do the wiring and I'll do the shooting.
Okay, so he's the main, you're the assist.
No, I think they're different tasks. Like he was gonna set up the computers to communicate together, and then I would actually try to use the computers.
Yeah, I can try and hook up everything together. I've got to focus on computers.
Okay, then let's let Maddox do that.
All right, so just so I kind of get an understanding of what's going on, Maddox is going to link the two ships' deflectors together.
Yeah, so that they'll fire at the same time.
Okay. And then who's going to do the shooting?
The captain.
Okay. So Ensign, or it's Lieutenant, isn't it? Lieutenant Maddox. I think this is going to be a reason or control with engineering. We'll make it
All right.
difficulty 3.
Okay, should I use momentum?
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of, or screw the assist, apparently. Or I think you actually spent one too many, or you rolled one too many.
Oh, but I was using a focus, so I thought that added one.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. What does a focus mean then?
Focuses increase your critical hit range.
Oh, okay.
So like it's a possibility to get 2 successes on a 5 or less.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So you at least I'll take the roll. I'll just drop the last one. You at least got your. The assist I think is going to be computers and structure. Or are those the same? Yep. So yeah. I guess structure and engineering then. I think for the assist for both ships. Or no, computers engineering. You're using computers. Sorry. All right.
Which ship was? I think I used the wrong one. Which ship did you roll for, Michelson?
Well, they both get the assist. I'm giving them both the assist.
Yeah, but I rolled the wrong stats for the Imjin.
I mean, it doesn't matter because his success gave you your 6. So
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, you guys are good. So yeah, so you are able to successfully link the together. Using your computer's memory core. Obviously, the Imjin is taking the lead on this because it has the better computer memory, I would say. Okay, so what's next?
Do we want to do anything before we fire the deflectors? I think we still got like 3 people or 4 people that can go.
I can still go this turn.
I don't think I went either. Is there anything on the ship that needs to get fixed?
So what's left are some of the hull breaches and the buckling. The tactical systems are still offline.
I'll do. Sorry, go ahead.
So like the shields and the weapons are offline on the Sarek.
Okay. Do you guys want me to attempt to fix the shields or structural stuff?
We can let Kerr handle structural stuff, and you and Michelson can handle the shields, maybe. Because I imagine Kerr's got the stats to do fixing things by himself, whereas I don't know if you do.
So
Yeah.
So just so you guys understand of what you would be getting into, the tactical task is just a difficulty 1 task. The hull breaches and the buckling is actually an extended task with a magnitude 4.
And we can do the whole breach. I say the Kerr and Michelson together can do the whole breaches. And then-
Magnitude 4. That's we're not going to be able to get that. The best thing I can say is put up some force fields that basically reinforce where the hull breaches are.
Yeah.
Just temporary fix it.
All right. So you said it's like what attributes and discipline?
For the hull breaches?
Shields.
Oh, shields. So you're still in deflector control, right?
Yep.
I think for you to be able to make the task, because you'd have to move up to the bridge probably, or to engineering or something like that, you'd probably have to spend some momentum to decrease your interval.
How much does that cost?
Believe it's 2.
All right, I'll spend that, and I'll go up to the bridge.
Cool. Then it'll be probably just your control security, I think, or reason security. Difficulty 1.
How much momentum do we have left?
4.
I'll spend another one for the roll.
So you spent
pretty good.
1, and then you get 2 back. So you're up to 5.
Nice.
So really, all that you needed to do with the shields was basically bypass a breach, and so you're able to just basically bypass the breach and get the shields back up.
Sweet. So I concentrate the shields in the areas where the structural integrity is more damaged as well, if that's possible.
That was your only task.
What I want to do is throw up some force fields to shore up where the hull breaches are to try and mitigate any structural damage from those.
Okay. So I'll still keep it. You're at the a bridge station. So probably control and engineering, difficulty
Okay.
2.
Focus computers or survival or something like that.
I think I can make a case for computers.
Okay. Spending 1 momentum for 3 dice. Glad I did.
Okay. So yeah, you try to get some more force fields up around the breaches. Try to send a little bit more juice to them to just kind of ensure that they'll hold together.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have that. So we have Captain and Commander Prax.
I'm gonna try to use the deflectors to weaken the hole, the weak point.
All right. Believe this is going to be probably control science. Difficulty 3.
I'm gonna buy 1 dice.
And this probably has an assist. It probably has an assist from both ships. Probably sensors science.
Okay, then I'm gonna roll 3 and get the assists.
And I think we
Have your
just
ship's sheet up.
I think we just need the Imjin, right? There it is. Back up to 5. So you send the pulse, and as the pulse hits the weakest point of the wall, you start to see a little bit of space shining through the anomaly wall.
And then I'm gonna spend that determination to give an assist from my presence and command to the ensign.
Cool. So now I believe all that's left is the con task.
Yep, that's what I think.
All right. So because of all the nice, wonderful things you did, it's going to be 1 roll.
Mm-hmm.
With a difficulty 2, complication range 2.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. I'm guessing this is going to be controller daring con.
You are actually spot on with that.
Okay. Because I definitely want this to succeed, and because we've done so many unorthodox things, I want to use my value throughout the handbook and wrote my own for a D20 rolled as a nat 1.
Okay.
Then I want to go on ahead and spend. No, wait. Yeah, I want to go on ahead and give you 2 threat to activate bold, giving me 3 dice to roll.
Okay. So the only question before the roll is what ship is going first?
That would be the Imjin per captain's orders.
Okay.
And then he's already done the roll. And I'll give my presents.
Cool. Damn, you guys were crushing these damn rolls.
Well, and then there's 2 more successes on top of that too.
Right. So you start to pilot from the station on the Sarek, and you are able to pilot successfully both ships through the ever-increasing hole in this subspace anomaly, and both ships fly through without ever coming close to hitting the anomaly walls.
Heyo.
Oh, yes, no damage whatsoever.
So just to give you an idea, that con roll, had you not done anything else, was a base difficulty 7.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Even with my stats, well, we didn't even roll the ships because they were unnecessary, but
You came close to do that without anything else, yeah.
without anything else, well, that is it. That's 6 right there, plus my 2 is 8.
I probably could have burned a value if I needed to.
But so for everything you guys tried to fix would take off a certain number from the task roll. So you guys are out, and you guys can role play at that point.
I'm gonna do a comm badge over to Commander Prax. Commander, I want you to assemble a team to come over and take over the Sarek. You can take as many people as you need to take the ship back to Narendra. And then I'm going to be bringing back over the rest of the senior staff to the Imjin. And I'm going to meet you in the transporter room before you fly over.
And on the way over there, on the way to the transport room, Regov lifts his leg up to a bench somewhere in the hallway, pulls out an ankle flask and just fucking devours the whole thing. Ugh. And then continues on his way down the hall.
Now, is Michelson staying on the Sarek to pilot both ships, or is he going to the Imjin?
No, I don't think we need to pilot both ships together now.
Okay.
I'm bringing over a skeleton crew to the Sarek.
All right.
All right.
So Maddox goes over to the Sarek and just looks around. She's like, huh? Nice digs. Shame everyone died.
All nonchalant like that. That's awesome.
I'm gonna meet Prax on the Imjin's transporter deck. Well, Commander, you have your first command. Try not to lose the ship. And then I'm going to leave.
All right, I think we'll end it right there. That end of Ghost of the Past.